Welcome to another IoT Friday, and today we look at wearables, watches, goggles, maybe even anything that can be worn on a body. I'm Steven.
I'm Tom. Wearables at work. I wear one, or at least I wear two at the moment, but one is measuring something. And probably you are also wearing at least one device with you because your mobile phone counts as a wearable in a sense, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we are measuring a lot of bodily functions and spatial functions where we are and what we are doing at the moment.
Yeah, often people use a phone while jogging or running, which is then it's basically a wearable because it measures how you're running, where you are.
Yeah, GPS information.
Yeah, and can even use the camera to do basic heartbeat recognition.
Sure, yeah. So wearables at work. It's in the news right now. We see the shares of Fitbit going down, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So it could mean that everyone is having at least one wearable nowadays and is not needing
that
much
the market
more.
is filled and we don't need it anymore.
Yeah, we could say that.
Or did we find out that it is not as usable as we thought it was?
It's probably not as new as we were used to. The wearables, the Fitbits is one example, of course, but we have a lot of other ones and a lot of copies out there. We now look at wearables at work.
Yeah.
So that's a slightly different approach, I would say, than taking a look at the wearables that we know of and that we use for jogging and running.
Yeah.
Because that's the most common way of using it.
So would it still be the same device?
I think so. We could still start from the same device, like a wrist watch type of thing, because it's a good position on the body to measure activity, of course. If you're on the work floor and you're doing stuff, your arms are probably moving a lot, so it will measure activity.
Yeah.
It is relatively close to you. It can measure maybe temperature of yourself. It can measure your location and everything without very big problems. And it will not be as cumbersome as wearing something on your arm or around your chest or your leg even, and you could lose it.
This constantly
it's
pulls
not
down.
comfortable. It's not comfortable. And wearing one on your shoe could also be a good position. Although,
And why do we want to use it? Why do we want to use this wearable on the work floor? Let's first take it personal. I use my wearable to get a good feeling. In a sense, at the end of the day, how many steps did I do?
Sure.
Did I have a busy day at work but only sat behind my desk? Or have I been running around the place and did I do enough steps? And thereby knowing I don't need to go out for a run or a walk anymore.
I think this translates very well into the work environment, because now we can use that same principle, so to say, to get people healthy at their work environment. Whether it be behind the desk, like you already sketched the situation, you want to move around and not sit for 8 hours straight behind the desk, because that's not the best position to be in, I would say.
No.
But you have a lot of work environments where it might not be healthy to work in one way. Repetitive strain injury is one of the examples that springs to mind.
Okay, so recognizing if you've been doing the same thing for 100,000.
Sure, yeah. So becoming, creating a more healthy environment, and in this sense we need to use the information measured by the wearable to detect specific activities that are good or bad for you and coach on those.
Okay.
So a good coach will help in providing a healthy work environment.
And that can be a personal coach,
sure,
but also a digital coach.
Yes.
A chatbot that chats with you saying, "Hey Steven, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I sense that you're sitting at the same position or the wrong position. Are you doing the same thing over and over again?"
Yeah. So in the end, it could help you create a better work environment, create more diversity of work. If you look at a whole population of people in a work environment, and you see that a lot of people are doing the same thing but different same things for a full day, swap them in their positions if possible.
That's often possible.
A very easy solution, and then you look at a higher level on the data from the wearables at work.
Yeah.
So it would be a good one. On the other hand, creating a happy workforce is one thing. Take a look at safety. Safety at work would be.
So that the machine recognizes if you're close by, maybe even too close by, or how you're handling the machine.
Exactly.
Or there are too many people nearby the machine.
Yeah.
That it will behave different, slower, or maybe only go goes faster when you're more away from the machine.
Definitely, yeah. Or take a look at the situations where you are working in hazardous environment with toxic gases or something. If the wearable measures the rising level of that, it notifies you to get out of there and go to a safer environment, or where you might end up falling somewhere. That could also be the case.
Yeah.
And you know where a person fell down, and
you could get warned. Look out! This is a dangerous environment.
It's as basic as creating the situation. If you measure heartbeat as well, you can see if everyone's still alive.
Could we also use it for firemen?
Yeah, sure.
Where you see if what their heart rate is, what their temperature is, but also their blood CO2 or oxygen levels can be measured with a non-invasive wearable. So you can see you're often in an environment where there's a little smoke, so you can see if a fireman is still doing okay on levels of CO2.
Yeah. So in that case, it's you want to go into a hazardous environment on purpose, because you want to rescue someone or extinguish a fire.
But still need to make sure that you're healthy.
Yeah, and do it in a controlled, the most controlled possible way.
Yeah, and otherwise notify not even the person itself, because he might not be able to get out of this environment, but also notify someone else.
Yeah.
This person needs help, or something else needs to be done to ensure safety.
Yeah, that's the great, maybe ultimate solution of the wearable in this environment. Keeping happy the people working there as happy as possible.
Happy, healthy,
safe,
and also be able to change the environment around them to make it easier to have it as a safe environment.
Exactly.
Because gathering all this information from different kind of people, you can then use that to see what you need to change in the environment to make it safer or easier to work in.
Exactly. So, wearables, I would say it's a great industrial Internet of Things solution.
Yeah, even when you combine them for 17 euros.
Yeah, as simple as that. And they are having a very positive social impact at work in this case.
Yeah, so we need to hope that the Fitbit shares don't drop.
No, they need to go up actually. Yeah, sure.
Good. I don't have any shares in Fitbit.
No, I'm not as well.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend and see you next week on IT Friday.
Thanks. See ya.